This tutorial is about finding and using credible sources on the Internet. What does it mean to say something is credible? Basically, it means that it is believable, and it is believable because the person who said it, wrote it, or created it has some kind of authority in the area. For example, if your doctor tells you that smoking is harmful to your health, you will probably believe him because you know that he has many years of medical training. Looking for credible information on the Internet is a little trickier, since anyone can put up a website and say whatever they like on it. Look at this website, for example. It looks nice and pretty credible, but there really is no such thing as a tree octopus. How professional a website looks is no guarantee of its credibility. Let's take a look at two websites you might come across if you were researching explorers. The first one is part of a popular website called Enchanted Learning. Let's take a look at one of the explorers, Christopher Columbus. There's some information about him, including the dates of his birth and his famous 1492 voyage. We find some further information when we click on this link. Now, let's compare this to another website about explorers. This looks even better. Everything you ever wanted to know and more. Let's look at the article for Christopher Columbus on this website. Here's the article about Christopher Columbus. Let's take a look at what kind of information it has. Well, here's his birth date. Wait a minute, 1951? There's something wrong here. Let's look a little more closely. In 1942, he set sail with 3 ships? That's not right. Columbus died in 1906? This website is just like the Tree Octopus site. It's a fake. Now, you probably know a little bit about Christopher Columbus from studying him in school. But what if you didn't? How would you decide which of those 2 websites was truthful? Well, you could look at another source. If you did, you would see, for example, that this one agrees with the first one on Columbus's birth and death dates. Secondly, if you look at the fake website carefully and really read the article, you would see that the facts do not even make sense within the article. For example, not only does it say that Christopher Columbus was born in 1951, but that he died in 1906, which is 45 years earlier than his supposed birth date. So don't just skim your source. Take a closer look for inconsistencies in the information itself. Let's take a minute to review. While establishing the credibility of an Internet source includes both comparing it to other sources and reading carefully, there are some further factors to consider. Educator Kathy Schrock uses the 5 W's of website evaluation to help students decide how credible those websites are. Let's take a look at them. Let's look at an example. On a credible website, you can find out who the authors of the site are and some information about them, such as here on the Enchanted Learning website. Here are the what questions. Again, a credible website will have a section that answers some of these questions. You can answer the last two yourself by navigating the website and comparing it to others. The Enchanted Learning website authors answer these questions in the section called All About Us. Somewhere on the home page, usually very near the bottom, you should be able to find these dates. This is especially important so that you know the information is current. Sometimes websites are put up with the purpose of persuading you to have a certain point of view about a group, a person, a political party, religious beliefs, and so on. They don't always make that very clear. This is not a real website, but when a group of 8th grade students was asked to evaluate it, most of them said they would use it because they didn't take the time to read it carefully enough to see that it was supposedly sponsored by a hate group. This kind of site will suppress any facts that don't agree with its point of view. Besides, there's a spelling mistake. What kind of homework help is that? Use these why questions as you are deciding which sources of information are credible and useful to you. You need to have a good understanding of your assignment as well to make the best decisions. Let's review. When we want to make sure our sources are credible, we need to compare sources and read carefully. We also need to explore the websites we find to answer the 5 W questions. There's a lot of great information on the web, but smart students read critically before they use any of it.